If you've created a project and you're going to set up a meter for the very first time, go ahead and open the project by clicking on Open Object. And make your first activity to upload to the PC. This way we get the complete ordered configuration of the meter loaded into the PDM template. Click Close. And the very next thing, go into Setup, Local Display, and set everything here the way you would like it. And as soon as I get these the way I want them, I'll go ahead and send these to the meter. That's finished. I can close this. Next, I'll go to Devices, Wizards, Quick Start. This will open, and I can put a tag here if I like, descriptor, a message, what the location is. Then I can hit Next. I can set these values for heart, since heart is loaded on this meter. And I can set up these values as well. Once I get these set the way I like them, I can hit Next. Same thing with this window. Hit Next. Apply the changes. This will pop up. There's no need to save, because when you save this, it just creates these little message CSVs, which are of no great use to anybody. So instead, I'll just hit Close and then go on to Device and on to the next wizard. This pops up. I'll say Next. And here is where I'm going to set up my pipe information. In this case, it's custom, carbon steel. Make sure you switch this to inches or whatever units you prefer to use. Set your outside diameter, wall thickness. If you have temperature compensation, you can turn that on. Disturbed flow profile. And then liner if that's applicable. Then hit Next. Here's where I'm going to set up my sensor size, sensor model and size. If there's any cable lengths, I don't know, maybe there's, oh, this is in inches. So you'd have to make it a pretty big number. I don't know, let's say it was 120 inches. Then put in Next. Here's where I would set my process medium. Put it in the units that I want. And then hit Next. Then I have to select whichever path I'm working with and then hit next. Again, this is a summary page. I can hit apply. This message log we can just close. Okay, and here is where we get to select the path geometry and the mounting hardware. The mount modes have been covered in separate videos, but just give you the short description. This would be direct one pass. The signal would go directly across the pipe from one sensor to the other. Sometimes we refer to this as one traverse, or on a bounce, where sensors are on the same side of the pipe. This would be two traverse. For some reason, three traverse is not here, but it isn't typically used. And for liquid, four traverses isn't typically used. This particular application, we're going to be in reflect. Now you can't just change it, as you can see. You have to go select, and then you can change it. Okay, and by the way, here's three traverses. It was missing from the previous screen, but it's here. But we only need this one. Reflect, two traverse. Okay. Recommended sensor spacing. All right, click OK. This next screen is telling you if you have a spacer bar, your index will be 9, or what your gap between the sensors are in inches, and it allows you to put in something else. So let's say we don't quite have that much room and we had to shrink this down. You could put a smaller number. Hit OK. Back at the summary page, hit next. And we can perform a frequency sweep by clicking on perform. OK. Next. Now, there isn't any receive signal yet. You have to do a snapshot. And hit OK to create. Now I can hit close because it says finished. And there's my receive signal. This is not live. You have to create a snapshot every time. Now I can hit next. And finished. Now, here's the tricky part. All this information has made it to the meter, but this data has not been saved on PDM. So before you go any further, let's take what's been programmed onto the meter and upload it to the PC. Okay, once that's finished uploading from the meter to PDM, now if I want to save this configuration, hit save, and everything which is on these screens will have been saved to this project. So now if I close this, I can close this too. I know that this project has the latest updates that I made to the programming. Now I know I just made 2 different projects and programmed the meter 2 different ways. One with size 2 very high temperature sensors, and the other with C3 universal transducers. We just did the C3s. What if we were to try and recall the very high temperature sensors? Okay, right click, open object. And send this programming to the device. Start. I can close this. And if you look, the sensors have changed to what they were the first time around before I programmed in the C2H sensors. And if I switch to setup, path settings, path 1, I could see this is correct for how I programmed it with the very high temperature sensors. So if you follow those steps, you'll be able to keep multiple projects on a single PC and bring that PC to different meters, and by opening up the different projects and sending the project to the meter, you'll be able to program in one place and then duplicate the steps someplace else. Okay, that's it.